Hey everybody on YouTube, this is Ken again with Xmods Gaming, shooting another video. So today we're going to be upgrading the reset button. So if your reset button has one out and you can't reset it, you could buy one of these tack buttons. I think that's what you call it, but you could buy one of these tack buttons from Console 5 as a replacement. And so I thought it would be a pretty good upgrade, even though I don't have one of these, even though I don't have this problem. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. I bought some extras in case, you know, I get a console or I have a customer that has a broken reset button. Or sometimes I'll buy console lots. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it around. And then this is for the Sega CD, so you probably won't see this inside or on the bottom of your console. If you do, then you probably have a Sega CD. But this is just a mounting bracket for the Sega CD. And I think this one, I had to like find a screw to make it work. All right, so we're gonna take that off. And then this is a VA3 motherboard, because you can tell with the vents, the shielding only goes this far. And then I have a S-Video mod, so that's why the VA3 Sega Genesis Model 2 is pretty cool idea, because it does have the what chip is it, the Sony chip, and it doesn't have the Samsung chip for the modification. So you have to have a Sony chip, or I believe a JVC chip, I can't remember. But this also works with the Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, and Sega Master System. So you could do a upgrade with these buttons on those consoles as well. So aside from removing my bracket for the Sega CD, if you just have a stock Genesis, then you can remove these 4 Phillips screws. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so we got the 4 screws out and the bottom shield. So, or not the bottom shield, but got the 4 screws out and the top shield. So now we're gonna focus on the reset button. So what I'm gonna do is pull the cartridge. Man, probably gonna have to break out the bigger screwdriver, but see if I can just get the cartridge slot screws. So there's 2 of those. Wow, that just flew out. Okay. So I got some capped on tape for my mod. You're not going to have that in yours unless you do something similar. This is a S-Video mod. I was just kind of experimenting. It's my own personal console, so I try to do Velcro, but I have about 3 of these modded, so I just usually use long wires, but this one I wanted the convenience of taking apart, so I decided to use like an RJ11 style jack. So I don't know, I might try RCAs and Velcro it in the side, but as you can see with the VA3 circuit board, you got all this room over here, so it's really ideal for an S-Video mod. And then, yeah, this one I think is a Sanyo chip, or no, it's I think it's a Sony. Oh yeah, it's a CK1. Yeah, you can look it up, but I have some capped on tape over it so I don't pull out the wires. All right, so now that we got our board free from the chassis, we're gonna flip it around. And then right here is our reset button. So I just turned up my iron a little bit hotter. I'm using a chisel tip, so I didn't know how big these were gonna be before I got into it, but I think the chisel tip is actually the way to go. And then see if my desolder pump will actually desolder this thing. So I think what I'll do is I'll add some no clean flux. Yeah, these legs are a little too big for this nozzle, but I'll try. Okay, this one goes right down on this one. All right. Try this one again. I'm not really satisfied with it. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, I was looking for like a spudger or something to pull it up with, but that just kind of fell right out. And this one's still good. you know, it's like a silicone with like metal under it, and a lot of people like to pull up the rim around it and then try to get it back in, but it never really works out. So I think these tack switches are going to be the way to do it. Let's see where I put those. Oh, they're over here. And then these should be like more reliable. All right, so be nice, because you want to when you put it in, you want it flush to the board. You don't want this thing falling back out. I'm gonna just try to bend these down and see if I'll hold it in a little bit. All right, and I'll just keep the residual flux on there. Okay. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do is clean that flux up just to make it look pretty. All right. I'm just using 91% alcohol in a spray bottle. You could use 99, 70. I mean, if you had to, 70 is better than nothing. But reason why I don't use 99% because it's hard to get. Like, you have to order it and stuff, so it's just not worth it to me. And then just use a Q-tip to kind of clean it up a little bit. Because yeah, you can use just a paintbrush to move it around, but it's not really cleaning it. You know, you want soak it up in a cotton bud just to make it cleaner. Yeah, I got a bunch of bodge wires on here. This is when my last soldering iron started failing, or desoldering, my desoldering gun. See, okay, let's make it sure. All right, so that looks all nice and neat. So let's go ahead and fit it back in the case and see how it does. Okay, so when you put it back in the case, you want to put this this bracket back on. This is for your cartridge slot. And then you want to put these front ports in first. You can see that. Let me do it again. That's how I like to do it. So that way they slide right in the hole. And then you can lay it down in there. And then, you know, you can put your shield back on. And orientation is going to be the 7005 voltage regulator poking through. Alright, so I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll put my, I don't know, 6 or 7 screws in. So hopefully you separated the screws to put around the shield from the bottom, because sometimes they're different thread pitch or sometimes the same, so it depends on the revision of the board. These appear to be the same, so we'll do that. Alright, so cool little trick. So if you're doing a lot of mods and stuff on your any game console, really, like, you know, make sure you put your cartridge slots in, or your screws for the cartridge slot, but kind of reverse the screwdriver a little bit until you hear either you feel a click or you hear a click. So right there, I felt a click, and then screw in your screw. That way you're not putting new threads into the casing. Alright, so I'm just gonna put all these screws in, make sure you get the ones in the back, and then we'll continue. Alright, so first thoughts, initial thoughts, we'll try it out. So you hear it click. So yeah, it's clicky, it's more responsive. It seems like it sits a little lower, so I don't know if anybody would have a problem with that. But I think what we'll do is hook it up and see how it works. Alright, we're in the game room, so we'll give it a shot here and see how it works. On the Sony Bravia TV with HD cables for the Sega Genesis and the 32X from Hyperkin, yeah. Alright, so we'll go ahead and turn it on. Oh, this is just, it's like, what's this called? Mutant, Exceed Mutants. I thought it was X-Men, but I bought this at a pawn shop, and I guess it's a rip-off. Anyways, let's go ahead and test the reset button. It works. Alright, and it didn't really take that much pressure. Yeah. So there you guys go. So please rate, comment, and subscribe if you like this type of video. If not, and you know, give it a thumbs down. And then also go to xmodsgaming.com if you want to get your reset button replaced and you don't have the soldering skills. Or you know, you could probably go to console5.com and just order yourself a kit and give it a shot. So I'll see you guys next time.